DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Mark Harlan added to the College Football Playoff Committee. Playoffs? So what do we think about that?
I thought it was bleeping brilliant.
Kevin, this spot was stolen from us. We were happy to be part of the College Football Playoff, but today we are not. Matthew, this is fantastic. When the Utes don't get an invite, Harlan will jump on the table and say, this was stolen from us. I was excited about the 12-team playoff, but now I am not. It was absolutely stolen from us.
Yeah, that's going to live on.
Forever.
As it should.
Mark, he'll provide great perspective to the committee as someone with recent on-field experience. Vernon.
Now that one's funny.
Vernon.
It's good.
Okay, so that's the only vote Utah will get then. See, that's the problem with this. You have to, when your team's discussed, you have to leave the room.
Why is that a problem?
Well, you have to leave the room. You can't
recuse yourself.
Why is that a problem?
Because that's one less person who could vote for you. If they'd added a different Big 12 AD, that Big 12 AD could advocate for Utah or BYU or
Are you sure
Texas
about that?
Tech seating.
Are you
What?
sure about that?
What, another Big 12? I don't think the other ADs have to leave the room.
Are you sure about that? I stand by my question.
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
I'm 90% sure about that. How about that?
Okay. It's a simple question.
Because the story I read
You
said
weren't
that
under
you have
oath
to,
here.
Well,
you're not gonna,
it feels like it sometimes. I'll just tell you that right now.
I know. I get that, but not this time.
So I'll tell you why. I'm pretty sure, but not completely sure. The story talked about how if you have a tie to your team, a tie to the team, you have to leave the room.
Tie goes to the runners, and Utah runs the ball well.
It didn't say the conference. So I assume that the conference is okay. It didn't spell it out in this story.
Oh, so it's the story's fault.
No, it'd be my fault for not contacting the author of the story and getting the footnoted edition.
You gotta report it. I mean, that's what Walt taught me.
Walt didn't teach you anything.
By example. That's so Jesus
by
didn't
legacy.
Jesus didn't teach you anything.
By legacy. See, Walt didn't write the Bible. Walt didn't write the Bible.
I'm just using a parable in the manner that you came to me.
Mark Harlan.
Get off the mount over there and finish your sermon, all right?
I'm just trying to understand logic.
Well done.
Trying to understand logic, that's all.
You are not.
I'm a devil.
That I believe. Finally, some truth.
So,
finally.
Everybody knows where my allegiances are. Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal.
Get the ASU AD on there, and then he can pump up Utah. The Utah AD can't pump up Utah.
I know. I think at this point in time, since it's late in the process, you need a seasoned guy. Or a lady. And the AD's in it's barely his second year at ASU. Harlan has been around the block. He's had worked in athletic administration, 4 or 5 schools, obviously been an athletic director before.
He's been on this committee before.
He's been on the committee before, and I think that was a big factor. Right?
And he's in the conference. So to me, it's an absolute logical association that you would have him aboard. He can step right in. And he follows the game. I've talked to him about the game a million times over. And so it in my mind, it would be an absolutely seamless transition to get a veteran person in here of his caliber.
Dax, BYU is screwed.
And you know, I disagree on that because
I do too.
I mean, obviously he's been here 7, 8 years now.
8.
And so he had an idea of the rivalry growing up in the LA area, going to school in Arizona and all. I'm sure he did. But, he had and probably still has an outstanding relationship with Tom Homo. And now he's got to develop one with Brian. But I don't think he really gets caught up in that stuff because Chris Hill and his associate, they did because they were getting their brains beat out for years. And so it was sort of like a little bit of a, not necessarily revenge, but it was sort of sweet
All
that
they ever
they
heard
got
was,
up here
right.
and you got stuck down there.
Yes.
Mark comes in a different aspect. Utah's already there. So he didn't go through the struggles of the climb and getting your brains beat out. Like he came in and didn't lose for several years.
Yeah.
In football, obviously.
And they weren't in the same league. He wasn't interacting in league meetings the same way, and
so
they weren't the 800-pound gorilla. It's just different.
I have 1,000% faith that if Mark Harlan is asked to give a fair assessment of Brigham Young University football, he will do exactly that.
And for all the debates that we have had here in the last week or two, and that we will have in the next couple of weeks, there might not be anything to pitch either way. It might be crystal clear.
And I think to a large degree it will be.
Yeah. Maybe Texas Tech with the seeding, that might be where he has more say, because it appears they'll be in, and maybe the seeding won't be crystal clear.
And that's not that big of a deal to me. The lobbying is done by Mark. That's his job. He needs to have every one of these people on speed dial. He's like the coach texting the star quarterback high school recruit. Hey, you had a great game. How you doing this morning? How's your body feel? You know, there's a constant, whatever the communication rules are. Mark needs to be pitching this because we already saw this very week, early in the week, the SEC commissioner telling us we ought to get 8.
Yeah.
At minimum 6. What he's saying is we ought to get 8, but I freaking darn well better get 6. And then that's what he's saying. And so that message rings louder. It's not Mark Harlan's job to pitch for the Big 12 in this situation. They're paying somebody literally millions of dollars to do this. And that's what he needs to do. And Mark has integrity on the line here. And I know he came out on the field and he popped off. Wow, he's a human being. Who knew? And so he made a mistake. Well, whoop-de-doo. It happened. It's not like it's a slew of mistakes. He got heated. I mean, I've talked to him about stuff that that's not the first time he's complained about officiating.
Said every AD ever.
Yes.
This game was absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about being in the Big 12, but tonight I am not.
That's a legendary comment right there.
That lives forever.
That's what makes this rivalry, man.
But it also, I think that final comment about not being happy to be in the Big 12 leads BYU fans to be like, okay, he's going to, on BYU.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
I would tend to agree with you. I'm just saying that's, I think, where that.
That's fine, and you're a fan, and you have fun. That's what you do with this rivalry. That stuff, in a sense, is fun. Slugging another person, having foul language, being vile to somebody you see on the concourse because he or she is wearing a colored shirt representative of your team. That's over the top.
Yeah.
But this stuff, that's what it's about. Going back and forth like that. And I'm okay with that. And in retrospect, I would think, Mark doesn't really want to talk about it, but I would think he could see where, okay, I can see where they make fun of that. Because now we're well over a year removed from it. It's harmless from that perspective. But I have no doubt that he's going to evaluate fairly. Plus, he's one of 12 voices, right?
I thought the good part was that an AD left, so they put an AD on, and it was a Big 12 AD, so they put a Big 12 AD on.
So each one
Maybe in retrospect that should be obvious, but the way things work in college sports, I didn't know.
Each of the Power 4 conferences has a conference representative on the committee, so they're replacing the Big 12 representative was Mac Rhodes. Therefore, they replaced him with another Big 12
like
AD.
the opinions of guys like Chris Auld, Mark D'Antonio, Mike Riley. These guys, they've been in the mud for a long time as coaches. And then they try to get some representation. They have a female on there, a lady named Carla Williams. I'm looking at it right now. Ivan Maisel, longtime respected media member, highly respected media member. I don't even know what he's doing now. But he has that deep voice. Heard him talk. So He's been doing it. You have veteran people here that just, that they may not. We may not agree with everything that they do, and I don't know that we ever will. You know what I mean?
Well,
last year we feel like BYU got screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, there's going to be somebody else this year who feels like it.
There
It's just
always
the
has
nature
to be a
of it.
bubble team, and when the tournament's 12, 16 deep, even when it was 4 deep, we had that whole Florida State fiasco. There's always going to be this stuff.
Right. Well, always, because there's not a professional bracket. If you do this and this.
Well, the Big Ten's pitching it, sort of.
Well, and I would like to hear the proposal, actually. We keep going down the road. There's no turning back.
Right.
So we've taken a significant step. If there are other steps to be taken, let's hear the proposals. Doesn't necessarily mean they're bad.
Well, the part that everyone objects to is the SEC and the Big Ten get 4, and the ACC and the Big 12 get 2. If the ACC and the Big 12 were given 4, just like the Big Ten and the SEC, I think they'd be signing on in a heartbeat.
Okay, but I understand that. I'm not making an opinion of the possibility. I'm just saying I want to hear discussion about the possibilities, and I get it. Each of these things are conferences, or they've got one interest in mind, themselves, and then the good of the game. But they want to take care of themselves first. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
When money's at stake. And it'll always be like that. But as far as Mark jumping on this year, it's a logical position to be in. They probably knew the AD at Colorado was stepping aside. He announced that. You're not going to put Santiago on it. He just got there. As I said, the Sun Devil guy just got there. And here you got somebody who has been around and has experience in athletic administration for many, many years. So away you go here. And hopefully for our sakes that one or both. I would be ideal. Personally, I'd love to see both, but I want one, and I really don't care which one it is. Give me BYU or Utah in the playoff, and I'll enjoy it. Give them both, and that's Christmas morning. Now, the great thing about it is Mark Harlan, if you take care of your business, he's got nothing to say about it. You can go get that bid, and nobody can take it away from you, and nobody can give it to you.
A four-game winning streak for BYU right now, and they're in. Win your last 3, win the conference title game, and then all that's being talked about is seeding.
Oh, yeah, if BYU goes on a 4-game winning streak, they're minimally getting a home game. Minimally get out of town. Well, they're gonna go.
No.
Minimum.
DJ.
Yeah.
12-1.
12-1.
They're getting a home game. Sorry.
Okay.
No,
They're gonna.
Because Tech might very well get a top 4 seed.
Yeah.
They're gonna leap Notre Dame. They're gonna leap Texas.
12-1?
Texas and Oklahoma will probably lose, so that'll just
at
take care of that.
12-1.
12-1 Yes.
Absolutely.
I guess Tech wouldn't get in a home game because
With 12-1 BYU move in front of 8-1, 11-1 Oregon, if Oregon wins out, which isn't
we don't
a given.
need to move in front of them. You just need to be a seed that gives you a home game.
It'll be 5-8.
That's all you need. That's all. I'm not going to argue your point. I'm going to stick to my point and Yak's point. 12-1 gets you a home game.
They're going to be 5-8, and they'll have a home game.
I don't care if they move ahead of Oregon.
Well, Oregon's sitting in the 8th spot. They got to move ahead of somebody.
They'd be.
Oh, they would.
Tech because they beat
wouldn't
Tech.
move.
They would beat
be
Tech.
full.
Yeah.
They'll beat Tech. Yeah.
They would Florence Griffith Joyner. Is that her name?
I thought she was a sprinter.
Right.
Did she do the long jump?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, fly
Sprinting,
by.
man.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
Those
like
big
long jump,
fingernails,
high jump,
just
pole vault.
Coming down the track.
Yeah.
In
I
impressive
just
speed.
have no.
That would
Big
be
12,
shocking.
Big 12 teams getting the shaft doesn't shock me.
No.
Okay.
12-1.
I mean, the SEC's got games where each other are going to beat each other up, and teams
We
are
have
going to
that
drop.
this weekend. We have 4 and 5 versus 10-11.
Right.
No, I don't care who it is. Any 12-1 team that doesn't get
You're gonna have
a home game, I would be outraged.
You're gonna have Shahanjay Araja on our airwaves saying this is travesty if that happens.
Once Shahanjay Araja says it, you know it's true. The guy wears loud sport coats.
He does wear loud sports coats.
Electric blue.
That would just be an absolute given. I would fire all those people on the committee.
Oh, you may need to.
No.
Okay.
12-1, and you will have beaten.
You will be number 6 Tech.
Yeah, and
likely a ranked Cincinnati.
And
Cincinnati is 25 right now.
And Utah?
Yeah, you'd also have a win over Utah, who's probably going to be top
Utah's
15.
Utah's moving up.
Yeah.
They're the Jeffersons. They ain't going down.
Oh, sing it. Come on, Yak, let's go. It's
Because
on YouTube.
I don't think they're losing. And you got that in the bag.
Yep.
And last year, and this is where the human factor comes in, they know full well that maybe they hosed BYU last year. And so they're not going to do it again.
I like all those points, and then over here is they've got to hop over Big Ten and SEC teams.
No, they need to finish 5 to 8. That's not that outrageous. That's an assumption.
There'll probably be enough help along the way. You're right. They probably would get there.
Yeah. I didn't think you thought that all the way through, but now you have.
I didn't. No, I default to the Big 12 is going to get the shaft.
Not a 12-1.
Tie. What was that thing you just said? Tie base goes to the runner. Yeah, tie base doesn't go to the Big 12. It goes to SEC or Big 10.
Come on, move around with me.
We finally got a piece of the pie. Doom, doom, doom. You doing the sprinkler? What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
This has got to be high quality YouTube entertainment right now.
Yeah. Wheezy would pitch a fit.
Wheezy would.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. And Tech, Utah, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, I don't care who it is. Yeah. You go 12-1 in this conference.
So over here, your mark could be saying 12-1, got to have a home game. And over here, you'd have the SEC commissioner saying, got to have 8 teams, even though you're right, he means 6. Or 5 if Oklahoma, gets beat twice. Even he'll give up on them.
The SEC is so cocky that they wouldn't care. We'll play anywhere you want and beat you.
That's probably what they would think, yes.
Well, Sankey's been a broken record on that.
Yeah, so whoop-de-doo.
It's more Petiti in the Big Ten.
Texas at BYU, first-round playoff game.
Well, they've played in Provo before.
I don't care.
No, I'm just thinking, how juicy would that be? Here comes Arch Manning.
In midday of December.
Sark
wasn't coaching them when they came here, right?
Yeah.
Anybody against...
I know, any playoff game would be great.
Yeah. They're all good teams. We're not arguing that. No one's arguing that. They're all very good teams.
Number 9, Utah. Number 8, BYU.
Oh, that's the ultimate fantasy.
Yeah.
And if I'm Utah, I would love that because that's not really a road game in the manner of a road game.
Right. Yeah. That's not getting on a plane and flying across the country.
No. Each team has won in each other's stadium.
Well, first you got to win them all.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. I just don't see anybody beating Tech.
Right.
That's
so that was a fun
line.
segment, but that was just a bunch of hot air.
Probably.
Like many segments we've done.
Yeah, what the heck? This is sports radio.
DJ PK, it's David Locke next. Stay with us. Utah Jazz with a beautiful loss. Also, we have Jazz tickets to give away on the other side of the break, so stick around for that. You might win. We might send you to a game. That's next right here on The Zone.
You've been listening to The Zone for decades. Yes! But now you can watch the guys break down your favorite teams.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Catch the video stream of DJ and PK, Jake and Ben, Hanson, Scotty, and JJ and Alex right now at KSLSports.com or by searching KSL Sports on YouTube. Utah's best sports radio is on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's a Utah Jazz Ticket Friday. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. We'll win a 4-pack of tickets to watch the Jazz and the Bulls Sunday at the Delta Center. Call right now, 801-575-ZONE. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Utah Jazz, beaten at home. File that one under acceptable loss, right, PK? 3-point game going to the fourth quarter. Oh, they weren't good enough in the fourth quarter. That's too bad.
Well, if you have a team that shoots over 50% from the three in the manner of the way the game is played today, it's not 6 for 10. It's 27 for 43 or something. You're going to win.
24-47 last night.
Yeah, I mean, come on. What are you going to do?
Find the three-point shooters. Sometimes there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Other times it did seem like guys were kind of floating, not completely aware of what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but I think on both sides.
Well, the Jazz were 19 of 44, 43%. I mean, they were lighting it up themselves.
And if they would have shot over 50%, they would have won.
See? There it is. 5 more threes for Atlanta and a 10-point win.
Yeah. Duh. We get that. So, this maybe you nitpick 42 in the first, and then they allowed 42 in the first and only scored 19 in the fourth.
Good. DJ PK, we're joined now by David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz. David, good morning.
What a gift you two have. I mean, I wake up, I go through my day, and then all of a sudden, at 8:30 on Fridays, I feel better than I have felt at any point all week because I get time with DJ and PK. I mean, truly, a gift you give to people to be so uplifting, make people feel so happy. Incredible. Truly, truly angels on earth.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, truly angels on earth.
In a previous segment, he pointed out he's a devil, but now he's an angel on earth.
Sun devil.
Well, that might be
Sun devil.
That actually might be very deep, symbolic knowledge of how the world truly works. Frankly, there. If you want to get
you need guys
fairly
like me.
deep and philosophical.
An angel, yet a devil. Yeah. 80 points at halftime. You were thinking, there's no way they're getting to 160. Something's got to happen. 52 in the second half. That was much better.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lights-out shooting night that, give them credit. I mean, Quinn's doing some really interesting things and running some good stuff. And they're really, really, really hard to guard. And they are truly, not to get into an Atlanta controversy, but they're much harder.
There will be no Atlanta controversy. David will be cut off.
Devil or angel.
I believe he was about to make a point about not having Trey there, who can be a little ball dominant.
Well, they had a lot of trays last night.
They ended up with a lot of trays instead of one tray.
And they were arresting Kristaps Porzingis. The guy needs a blow. I mean, he is freaking Cal Ripken.
Well, it's game 13, so what the heck. Were you about to make a point about not having Trey?
Well, I said something nice about Quinn's not having the phone disconnected. I guess you're not allowed to do that anymore. Quinn's running some interesting stuff where they're just getting into their offense really, really fast, and they're doing it from a lot of different angles and a lot of different places. And where if you have Trae Young, they're coming at you kind of from one spot. And it's difficult because Trae Young's great, but you know where they're attacking you from and how they're attacking you. And, they had Lowry high up on the pick and roll with Nurkic trying to deal with a Lowry. Those are the guys we don't want. I mean, Nurkic, we have no choice, but those are two guys you don't want in space having to try to guard pick and rolls or trying to guard early actions. And it was just a really, really difficult defensive night, and the Jazz got better as the night went on. And really the Jazz, Atlanta shot – at one point Atlanta was shooting 54% from three with a lot of attempts, and the Jazz were still in contact, and you kind of knew the game was going to get back to even, and then the Jazz shot brilliantly, and it was 103, and frankly, we turned it over 3 straight possessions. All 3 were pretty careless, bad turnovers, and frankly, I'm not going youth on it. It was Nurkic, Markkanen, and George with 3 bad turnovers. So that was a game. We're within 1, have the basketball, and Nurk throws the same pass that had worked earlier in the game multiple times. I'm just not sure I throw it 5 minutes left in a game. It's a 1-point game to try to get Lowry on a backdoor cut without a lot of room. And then Lowry tries to skip over the top of the defense from the left corner to the right corner. Has more airtime than most flights these days. And then lastly, Keontae ball fakes Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but then leaves the ball exposed, and now he takes the ball and takes it the other way, and the game's over. So that was the game, but boy, it was fun and exciting and played well, and a lot of really good moments. But I think it is worth noting that the team made had out youth at this point.
Yeah, that's fine. Point taken. I've come up with a new name for Ace Bailey. I'm calling him the Gondola because get on board and he will take you to the top.
I mean, it's like it is. I will admit, it is almost hard right now to not just be Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey. And if we're just honest about it, like the whole entire this is so unfair. He's 19 years old, but like the well-being of the franchise and our future, and it's on Ace Bailey right now. It's gonna be on somebody else and Ace Bailey next year, but it's on Ace Bailey. Like there's not another guy on this roster who we should ever expect to be better than a top 50 player in the NBA. I think that's, if someone does that, they really vaulted themselves into a new category. I think Keontae could be really good, but he also is still shooting 26% from three. So let's give him still some leeway to get better. But no, I mean, it's awesome. Like the talent, we'll see. We'll see. This is what it's all about. Like you have a piece, and it's, this is how I feel. Like this, I'm going to take a little side note on this one, but this is, to me, this relates to the Luka trade to me. It's a little bit like New Orleans with Zion, and Ace Bailey's not perfect, right? I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of things that are bumps in the road. I'm sure, he's going to have to figure out off-court living. There's just a lot. That's our job. Our job being the organization. The organization's job is to have a talent at this level, and then your job is to foster it into its maximum ability. This is my point on the Nico Harrison, why he should have been fired the day he made the trade, is let's say every disgusting rumor that he spread about Luka Doncic is true, that he drinks too much, that he wasn't I don't care. He's the best offensive player this side of Nikola Jokic in the world. I don't care if he does all those things. Your job as an organization is to find a way to get him better. New Orleans' job with Zion Williamson has been to find a way to maximize the greatest talent in the entire league and figure out how to make it work. And New Orleans has failed at it. And therefore their franchise is in disarray. This is our job for the next 5 to 10 years, is foster an environment where Ace Bailey thrives. And then we'll add another one, hopefully, in the offseason, and that's the job. But this is what it's all about. So, it's Ace Bailey, and it's awesome. That pullback jumper the other day is awesome and highlight reel, but the pass to Markkanen on a basic, fundamental flare action that we call Ray was awesome, and the pass last night on the drive on the right baseline, those are just not plays people make. They're just not, and he's great. Not to mention his jumper couldn't have been smoother last night.
Yeah, he had it going on. Last couple games, man, since he moved in the starting lineup.
Right.
Can't argue with it.
And also the jumper last night, I'm going to give the coaches credit. He's shooting it. If you go back and look at video, he's shooting it a little differently. They've worked with him. We're seeing the beginning of the impact of the fact that you get to play basketball for 6 hours every day. The NCAA is one of the worst breeding grounds for basketball players to get better. They don't get better in college because coaches don't have enough time. The NCAA restricts how much they can practice. It's stupid. We don't do this to a violinist. We don't do it to a ballet. We don't do it to anyone else. We just do it to athletes. Oh, you can't practice. Great. That's super because he's going to make $300 million playing the sport. Maybe he should be able to practice all day. They don't, and so you get him in this environment where you have a coach established to him who's not out recruiting, and players get better. They get way better, and Ace's jumper looks different already.
We haven't seen a lot of Isaiah Collier, but we saw him for 25 minutes last night, and that was a lot of assists and a lot of layups. Okay, maybe one time a little optimistic on scoring and got swatted. But, my gosh, he was in the paint the whole night. Now, maybe that's a team that doesn't have a lot of rim protection, so it's a game that's built for him, and I get that. But what do you think of watching him in the little bit you've seen him?
I've been really impressed. Like, I'm a little hung up. I like my numbers and all my other stuff, and I'm all hung up on shooting. Okay, let's just talk about what he's great at, right? You can sit here and talk about all the things that are missing. No, this is like what he's great at. He's great at his tempo, his speed, his power. Those are special skills. Those are elite level NBA skills. There's a reason why at a point in time he was the number one recruit in the country. I know it's kind of a silly thing, but like there's a reason. Now, since then, as he elevates, the game asks more out of him, and I do think. I think he's taken like 2-3 attempts in 72 minutes. Like, that's a hard one to live by in this league at this point in time for a guard. So he's going to have to figure some things out still. But, boy, you're right. His impact on the game is incredible. You're also right that Indiana without a center and Atlanta without Porzingis playing and without a center are two games back-to-back that match his gameplay, and fine. So maybe it's going to be that Isaiah Collier in certain nights of the year is a 30-minute-a-night player, and certain nights of the year he's a 14-minute-a-night player. But he impacts the game at a dramatic level, and it's pretty awesome. And I think he impacts how the other players play on the floor with him as well.
You can remember many years ago when we were talking, you would talk about, some guys are going to put up stats just because people have to put up stats on any given game, right? And so maybe they're a little misleading. And I'm going this with Mark, and he's on a scoring explosion pretty much the whole year. He's had a few off games. But how much of that is his ability? And I know if he was on a better team, he probably wouldn't get as many FGAs. But I'm trying to figure out how much of it is empty, how much of it is real, and you've made this statement that when the Jazz are their next playoff team, he'll be on it. And so as he progresses, when we get to that point, which I have no doubt will come, what type of player he would be versus the type of player he is now.
So I think you have to take and realize that Lauri Markkanen is a 7'1" shooting guard. And then the area where he's not quite the same as the other shooting guards is he's going to create his offense through activity without the ball, not activity with the ball. So if you actually look at him, his shot diet is the exact same as Steph Curry, Donovan Mitchell, and Tyrese Maxey right now. He takes 10 threes a game. He takes like 11 twos a game, and he shoots like they're the exact same. Go look at Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey, Steph Curry. They're all taking the exact same amount of threes, the exact same amount of twos. They score the same amount of points a game. Like, it's pretty crazy. That's what he is. And he's 7'1", and it's really amazing to watch. The one thing that he does not do, and the Jazz tried really hard last year and kind of derailed some of the stuff he does, was to try to see if he could just give him the ball and have him isolate and create. And so the way that Steph Curry, Tyrese Maxey, and Donovan Mitchell can bring the ball to the floor and then come off a high pick and create is just not his game. And so he's going to have to come off an off-ball screen. They're running way more pick and roll with him this year, both because he's good at it. He's gotten much better at catching the ball in the paint and making decisions or scoring around traffic, and because we don't have a big that can set a pick on the pick and roll anymore. And so that makes it – Nurkic can do it. He's just not very good at it, and he's not a good roller. So it's just not – the play now is a small pick and roll. A small switched onto Lowry and having Lowry slip into the lane and catch and make a play, and that's new. He did not used to do that, and it's helped him a great deal. And then Will Hardy last night was talking about how they watched him in Finland and how they used him, and they've gone to a little bit more of that stuff where Lowry really has gotten very good at catching in traffic around the basket and making plays. And so you're now seeing him run off-ball action, whether it's off double staggers, off the pick and roll, where not only is he playing to the three-point line, but he's also taking tight curls in the two-point range or coming off slips in the two-point range, and it's just changed his game. Key number for you, I think 78% of his two-point shots are assisted right now. It was 64% last year. Klay Thompson has never had a year of his career with 78% of his two-point shots assisted. Think like the ultimate catch and shoot guy. That's literally Lowry is playing without the bounce at all. And so he's getting all of his actions off of things, getting the ball. That does get hard late in games. It will be interesting to see as we play more close games. We really haven't played very many close games yet this year. Can we get Lowry the ball? That's always been the problem is late in games. Can you get Lowry the ball?
But the fact that teams don't dare switch because now they're going to have to – if you're going to switch, you're going to have to put someone smaller on Markkanen. And if the Jazz get proficient at getting Markkanen to basically post up it's not old school Karl Malone back to the basket post up, but essentially get him within 3 or 4 feet of the hoop, and the smaller guy's got no chance. Mouse in the house, as Thurl Bailey likes to scream. Mouse in the house. Thurl always knew when he got a small guy on him, he was taking him right to the rim. Can the Jazz get teams now so the teams don't dare switch everything on the Jazz, as long as Markkanen's on the floor?
Well, Atlanta switched last night. Atlanta's actually a maintained team. Screens. That's not their defensive style, and they changed their defensive approach last night because of Lowry. They decided he was too big and too versatile, and they decided to switch everything, and that's why you saw all those backdoor cuts early in the game from Lowry. That's the other thing is he's reading the circumstances so well. He's now, it's been 3-4 years now where Lowry's the primary offensive player and coming off these sets, and now he reads the defense. And when you are switching, like not to get too detailed, but if Lowry's coming from the bottom right corner of the court and on a route that's outside the three-point line to the top, and he's coming off a pick or two, by definition, if you switch it, the guy is on the top side of you. You now back cut, and you have a dunk or a layup to the basket if someone can find you. And he did that a bunch early last night because of their switching, read them perfectly, and had the answer. And last night, Atlanta broke their defensive schemes to be able to switch. It led to Lowry scoring 40-whatever points. So to your point, yes, this is the answer if teams are switching. The league is allowing you to basically commit bodily harm on players off the ball right now. They have absolutely eliminated player movement, and basically you're allowed to just mug somebody all the time, which is kind of grotesque in my opinion. And I don't know why we're here, but I think we're here only because the offensive play, the league's allowing you to do it, and we scored 133 points last. Atlanta scored 133, and so did Phoenix, and so did Toronto last night. So if we do allow this, I guess everyone will score 150, but because the players have just gotten too good. So it will be interesting. And when we play Oklahoma City, I don't think it'll work because Oklahoma City fouls you every single minute of every single moment of the game, and literally, in most states, it would be a crime how much contact they make with you.
All right, we'll leave it right there, David. We appreciate it as always. You're the man, and we'll hear you Sunday, Jazz and Bulls.
You are angels that bring uplifting energy to all of us, and I could not be more thankful for my time with you.
David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz. Kevin Graham's talking football at the top of the hour. Stay with us.
Whirls around and down.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone is your exclusive home of the Utah Jazz. And we want to send you to the Delta Center to see the Jazz in action. Listen every Tuesday for the Jazz Ticket Tuesday Sounder at 30 past the hour, every hour, all day long. And if you're caller number 12, you'll be on your way to an upcoming game.
Buy one, you'll get one free.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, every Tuesday throughout the NBA season on your radio home for the Utah Jazz. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hercules First Federal Credit Union Salt Lake County High School Player of the Week award goes to Xavier Kachi from Skyline High. He capped his season by throwing for 298 yards and a touchdown, while also rushing for 133 yards and 3 scores in the Eagles' 28-26 loss to Green Canyon. Don't miss KSL Sports coverage of the Utah High School Activities Association state semifinals at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Catch the action today beginning at 10 a.m. on KSLSports.com, the KSL Sports app, or on 102.7 HD2, the KSL Sports Zone. The Salt Lake County Player of the Week Award is proudly presented by Hercules First Federal Credit Union. At Hercules, they're celebrating the everyday victories. Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together.
Rock and roll, Kachi-ku.
Okay. Don't know what to do with that.
Still playing words.
Okay.
We got to do our locks.
The lock of the week. You know, usually I'm prepared for this moment, and I've got it written down at home, and now I don't remember. I doped out the rest of the season. Yeah, I know.
You did?
I did.
Oh, he took it seriously.
I did.
I'm a
Then I left it at home, so now I don't have it.
Seat of the pants kind of guy. Have I had Pittsburgh, Yak?
Consulting the cheat sheet, you have not taken Pittsburgh.
All
yet.
right, I'll take them this week.
Taking the Steelers, all right?
We got to go quick. Come on. I ain't got time. That's not exactly quick.
Who you got, Yak? I had somebody written down. I think I'm taking the Texans over the Titans.
That's where I was going to go. So I'll let you have Houston.
One
you
T
can take
over
it
the
too.
other T.
Okay, I'm actually going to go. I have not used this team yet. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers over the Giants.
Have I taken the 49ers yet?
You have not.
Dang it. I have this mapped out. Maybe I was going to take the 49ers over the Cards. No, I'll take the Texans over the Titans. We'll save the Niners for later.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, so we got the Pack, the Steelers, and the Texans.
Purdy going home.
Texans are 1-3 on the road. I'm not sure I like what I'm doing here, but whatever. Fine.
Sometimes you got to be bold.
They had a crazy game last week.
They played the Seattle on the road, Rams on the road. They played some tough road games. They had to handle this. All right, DJ and PK, when we come back, Kevin Graham. What's he going to be whining about? We'll find out together. Next, stay with us.